Folks, this is Les Skymo, and we just finished our two-day weekend of our shotgun season here in Ohio. But I elected to take my muzzleloader, and something for you hunters that muzzleload hunt. I've got some tips for you. Now, I don't get paid by anybody. I don't do no public endorsements for anybody other than this. I haven't even talked. I have no affiliation with these people other than I use their product. But this weekend I did elect to take my muzzleloader, and my bow season's been really flat. I drew back on two really nice shooter bucks, but it just didn't pan out. But I took me a nice doe during shotgun season with my 54 caliber Traditions 1 in 48 twist muzzleloader, and here's what it looks like. Now, that was a kit gun, and I tried for probably 5 years to talk a friend of mine out of that gun. And finally, he bought another one, and he's been kicking himself in the butt ever since. But I got her now. But here's the deal. This was with this muzzleloader, I use a 295 grain Powerbelt bullet, and like I said, a 54 caliber. And I want to show you deer hunters, especially you muzzleload hunters, why I use the Powerbelt bullet in my muzzleloader. Turn the camera around. Now, this is the entrance wound. Right here, that's where the bullet went in. Now, the shot I only had a liver shot on this deer, and that's her hide there. That's the back side of the hide. And as you can see, there's just a little hole going in. Now, all I had was this liver shot. It was the only deer I've seen in 2 days. So I know the anatomy of a deer pretty well. Butchered my own deer and been a taxidermist in the past. I pretty well know where the vitals are in these deer. I elected to take the shot, about a 70-yard shot. And by the way, I use 110 grain of Pyrodex in my muzzleloader. Now, here's the exit wound of these Powerbelts. And as you can see, this deer has been slammed. Now, that's from your 295 grain Powerbelt. Right here, get my finger in there. All right, right there is where that bullet laid underneath the hide. But I want you to look at the damage. There's this Powerbelt, and there's the back side of the hide right there. That's the back side. Now, folks, that is why I use the Powerbelt bullets in my muzzleloaders. I've shot all kinds of bullets. I've shot all kinds of muzzleloaders. But this combination I put together, I have the utmost confidence in my equipment. And do not go in the woods and pursue an animal without sighting your weapon in and without the utmost confidence in your weapon. The last thing I ever want to do is to wound an animal for it to go lay down, suffer, and to die. Nobody loves animals more than me, but I do understand their proper role in man's life. And I want to thank you, and God bless you. And please take my advice. Have the utmost of confidence in your weapons, in your ammunition, and also when it comes to muzzleloaders, the proper amount of powder that you use makes a world of difference in the accuracy of your muzzleloader, whether it's an inline or whether it's a kit like mine. There's things you have to pay attention to, the small detail. Small detail counts, and it can be the difference between a hit and a miss or a wounded deer to feed the coyotes. This is old Les Skymo. Thank you. Hey folks, I want to show you these bullets and show you what I've done here. Now, 54 caliber muzzleloader is not as popular as a 50 caliber muzzleloader. A 50 caliber muzzleloader power belts, you can find them anywhere. There's only a couple places that I can find the 54. So if you decide to go to a 54 caliber from a 50, you need to take that in consideration. But here's exactly what I've done. Now, when you look at this is right out of the box. A little blurry there, let me back up. This is right out of the box, and you notice the little red tip. Oh, I lost it. Where am I at? Okay, I'm not a very good cameraman. But if you notice the little red tip there, the tip of that bullet. Okay, right there. Now, that's for aerodynamics, for a longer range, maybe 100, 125, 150 yards. That might make this bullet a little more stable at that long of a distance. But what I like to do, because they're just hard to find, the hollow point 54, is what you can do, you can take your knife and get up underneath that. It's just a little plastic insert is all that is. Now, you can do this with all your power belt bullets if you just want a standard hollow point. And you pull that little red plastic insert out, and there you have it. You've got your hollow point. Now, I prefer to use the hollow point for a lot of different reasons. I honestly believe that the shock value of the hollow point is much greater than with that little plastic insert in there. And as you've seen in my last clip, it really body slams this big game. And but also, you'll notice, you can see it in this video, when I take that little insert out, you see the end of the bullet is completely flat. Okay, you don't always know what's between you and a deer. Sometimes you can't see the brush, but through a pair of binoculars, you can see stuff that you don't see even in a scope. I honestly believe that that flat tip will keep that bullet even through. You got to be careful. You can't shoot just through a tree or through stuff you can't see through. Okay, there's times when you do not take the shot, but there's times when you don't see the little sapling there, you don't see the little tree limbs, or you don't see the briar patch in between you and that deer. You can see the deer. But I believe that flat tip gives you the edge. It gives you the advantage, and it will, if you do hit something small, very small, I honestly believe that that flat tip will cut right through it, and it will keep your bullet will stay more on target than with the bevel. The top of this is pointed, okay, and I believe that leaves you wide open for a bullet to be deflected, okay, and where this will cut right through it, and I think you got a better chance of something there that you don't see. Now, folks, right here is the end product of that shot. And as you can see, that bullet is completely flat. I don't know why. I've got some haze there. It's bright looking. Anyhow, let me back off of it a little bit. That bullet is completely flat. See that? That's what I took out from under the hide of that deer. That 295 power belt. Started out like this, and it wound up like this. It's about not quite as big as a quarter, but that's how I do it, folks. And I tell you what, it may be something you really want to consider next time you go out and you do you some muzzleload hunting. I promise you, like I said, I've shot a lot of bullets, went through a lot of ammunition, done this for somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 years. Folks, nothing speaks like experience. And this is something you could chew on and maybe try yourself. And have any questions or anything, send me a message on my video. So, thank you. Appreciate your time. And God bless you. Happy hunting.